Yeah, so we learned on Monday that no one really cares about March Madness on the panel besides me.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd turn March Madness into a football discussion. So we picked, between myself, Anthony, and Earl, our 15 favorite value deals of the first week of free agency.
15.
16,
and one
16.
grenade.
Yeah, 16, right?
Oh, there's one grenade
Oh.
and 15 real ones, but we had to throw one in there just
So
for
it's
fun.
essentially it's a
Sweet 16
bracket for the free agent moves
Yes, now this is
or trades.
from
Or trades.
Monday through this morning.
Okay.
Deals had to be made, no re-signings. Teams or players that move teams, and we are going to put them up. We're going to discuss which deal we like better in terms of value. Now, you can take value however you want.
Right.
Whether that's you signed the best player, I don't care what the price is. Whether that's a
Right. Or
guy
you
who
got
hasn't
a guy
proved
with a
himself.
lot of upside for no money.
Exactly.
Okay.
So value's in the eye of the beholder.
Who's the 1 seed?
So we picked 16. So initially we had 30, and then we cut down to 16, or
Right.
really 15 plus a grenade, and then put it in a random number generator because we didn't want to seed them ourselves.
So they're not ranked, really.
They're not ranked.
They're not
These
ranked
are not
based on
1
anything.
versus
Got it.
16. This is just 16
Okay.
in a random number generator.
Let's do this exercise. What would your number 1 seed be if you were seeding the 1 through 16?
I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know. I think
Well, no, don't say off the top of your head because that's going to
Yeah.
give away your winner.
Well,
yeah, right, that's true.
Perhaps. I mean,
Once
not if we all had a different answer.
Well, I guess we'll find out by
Yeah, we will
whichever
find
one
out.
wins.
So we will
Yeah.
find out.
All
Yes.
right, let's see the bracket.
So
Yeah.
with this, I guess we'll call it 1 versus 16, but really they're not ranked.
Yeah.
Steve, take tag board full.
Okay.
What's a better value deal? The Giants trading a 3rd-round pick for Darren Waller, or our grenade pick, the Buccaneers signing Baker
I was
Mayfield?
about to say.
Yeah, it's got to be Waller, although I think both of those are really good deals because really you got 8.5. It could be on a $4 million price tag.
Real
Now,
quick, the numbers we put up there is the max total, just because I don't want to get into specifics.
So,
now.
so the specifics on Baker is he's costing the Buccaneers $4 million, which is half of what the Redskins guaranteed to get Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Waller in the end because I think Baker has just shown you for 2 years he's just not that good. I think Kevin Stefanski got the best out of him for the back 2/3 of that one season. He was fine as a rookie, but I just don't think there's been enough consistency. Darren Waller, when healthy, now the health is a big if, but when healthy, he's an elite player.
He just hasn't been last
He
year.
hasn't been.
Was not.
No.
You know, I want to hold judgment on mine. I'm going to hold fire for a second. I want to hear where G goes. Because I think the Baker deal, for what little amount of money they're spending and what impact he could have, again, it's almost like you're buying a scratch-off lottery ticket.
Yeah, I think if you get Baker for, say, for instance, $4 million.
Which is what the price tag was.
You know, the price tag, you'll kick the tires on him. Maybe you get him in and he could do something a little bit later or he gets comfortable. It's not like he's going to not be playing with good players. He has a good receiving core.
He does.
Has a solid offensive line.
He needs a running back.
He needs a running game.
Who knows? Maybe they signed Kareem Hunt.
I thought that would be a good move. I'm going to edge it to Darren Waller. And the reason I just edge it to Darren Waller because Darren Waller has not been on the field in like 2 years. And you got to think about it like this. There was a time period where he just kind of flashed. Like his first 3 or 4 years, he wasn't really the guy who.
Well, he didn't play a lot earlier.
He didn't even really play a lot. So
But he had a stretch there where he looked like a Pro Bowl tight end.
For a stretch, if you was asked tight ends, he was up there with Kittle and
numbers last
Kelsey.
year? I thought he played more than.
No, he did. He played like 7.
He wasn't effective.
He's played, I believe, 17 games over 2 years, so half the games the last 2 years. The 2 years before that, 19 and 20, he averaged about 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns.
See, that's
for a
huge.
tight end.
So we could be looking at a player that's on the decline.
Could be. I mean, but his numbers were still good when he played.
I'm going to buck you guys. I know
Yeah.
that we'll lose because
Yeah.
it's 2-1.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to take Baker, and here's why. The incentive clauses in his contract means he hit all of them, and maybe, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're start 14 games, throw for 2,500 yards. I don't know what they are. But the Buccaneers are hoping like hell that they have to pay him $8.5 million.
Sure.
If they have to pay him $8.5 million, that means he's hit all of their escalators. So if you're getting a quarterback that's going to be healthy and start and is going to hit your performance numbers for $8.5 million, sign me up.
Yeah. I just don't think
Sign me up.
I'm not even convinced he's going to start.
You're betting against his success.
Yes.
What I'm doing is I'm hedging the total price tag for Baker.
Yeah.
And saying, I'll take that bet.
I know, but even if he does play okay, I still think he's a bottom 10 quarterback, and that doesn't do anything for me.
You know, I'm drunk by what he did
I hear you.
last year
I get it.
for the Rams. On 2 days in that system, he came in and threw the ball all over the place.
And
in
if
the
he
second
had
half.
played great the whole rest of the time for the Rams, I might have.
Had he played great the whole
Yeah.
rest of the time, and by the way, he was without 2 starting linemen,
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp. He never threw a ball to Cooper Kupp. If he had his pieces, I think Baker Mayfield's in the 10 million plus range today. But he
never
did
know.
not play. Overall, if you just look at his numbers, and you didn't watch the games,
Yeah.
if you just look at his numbers from the Rams, he was a bust.
Yeah.
And he
So.
was in Carolina too.
All right, so Darren
we'll
Waller
see.
moves
But it
on.
is Darren Waller moving
Darren
on.
Waller is advancing
And really quickly, the Big Nuggets, one reason I throw Darren Waller in there is because you pay Daniel Jones. You still need to figure out about him. They don't really have guys out on the outside that are threats.
No.
And at least if you could get something out of them, it looks on paper that it's going to be something for your quarterback.
That's
so
true.
I
It
like
is an if with him with health, but if healthy, he's probably there. He leads them in targets.
How old is Waller? 20?
31.
Oh, he's that old.
Wow.
He might go over the cliff.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
that's
said earlier.
he's 30.
Okay.
30.
Well, will he be 31 at the start of the year, though, at the start of the season?
Okay, yeah, he turns 39.
So, Bull, your number for wide receivers is 31. That you don't want anything to do with him after 31.
Yeah, no, generally.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not convinced he's great. I don't. Neither one of those guys was going to be moving too far in this tournament. For
Yeah,
me, probably.
yeah.
Baker being a former Heisman winner, former number 1 pick, that's why the guy's going to stick around the league, because just like I'm enamored by what his ceiling is, I tend to let his ceiling drown out his floor, and that's a mistake.
Right.
You shouldn't do
But
that.
this is his last chance to be a starter.
I believe so.
If he can't
Yeah.
beat out, I know
you're
you.
right.
If he can't beat out Kyle Trask
Yep,
after
he's done.
losing his job to P.J. Walker
Yeah,
last
it's
year,
over.
he's finished as a starter,
I
and then
agree.
he's got to accept the backup role.
And I think he's finished because I think the NFL teams would make the assessment that this guy doesn't have a backup
That's right.
mentality.
Yep. That's right.
And that would wash him out of
That's
the league.
right.
Okay, so
right.
Waller moves on.
Waller moves on to the to the Elite Eight. This is our
Quarterfinals.
8-9 matchup. The Chargers signing Eric Kendricks to a 2-year, $13.5 million deal, or the Titans signing Arden Key, 3 years for $21 million.
You guys go ahead. We'll start with
Give
that.
me Kendricks. I like Kendricks a lot. I was hopeful that there might be some interest
I mean,
here.
money-wise, it's basically the same
Money-wise,
per
it's
year.
a wash because it's $7 million per.
Yeah.
We're not obviously looking at any cap hits or structuring of the years of the deal.
Yeah.
Just on talent alone, give me Kendricks.
Man, this is a rough one.
It's a
I
tough
could
one,
flip
yeah.
a coin.
Yes.
Arden Key is somebody that I liked as a defensive lineman. I'll go with the Eric Kendricks just because it is a shorter 2-year deal, right?
Right.
When you're a linebacker, I like getting linebackers on shorter deals because I'm not really wrapped up in the cap number, and if I have to move from them, okay, then so be it.
I like that too. Flexibility down the road.
I'm going to lose on this one because I like Arden Key. Now, I love both guys.
Yeah.
To me, I wish they were both against somebody else because I love both these deals. I think didn't I have both of these guys on my Browns perfect offseason?
You
think
did.
you
I
did.
also had Key on my ideal.
I had
free
both
agency
of
list.
them. I love them both. The reason I'd go Key is because even though I like them both and think they will be good, Kendricks is still descending. He's on the back end, whereas Arden Key is on the upswing.
which
That's
is
why I
why
go
he
with
got
him.
a 3-year deal,
Right.
and Kendricks got.
But
a
I got
3-year
no
deal.
problem with Kendricks, so he moves
Okay.
on.
All right.
That was good.
Yeah.
Next one, 2 big-time signings here in our 4 versus 13 theoretical matchup. The Bengals signing Orlando Brown to a 4-year, $64 million contract, or the Bengals signing Draymond Jones. Seahawks, signing Draymond Jones, 3 years, $51 million.
Gee,
And
you wanna
once
start on
again,
this
we
one?
did not see these how we wanted. We did a random generator.
Right,
This is a
right.
big-time,
These are
heavyweight, blue blood
I would
matchup.
have these as top 4 seeds.
I would too.
I think they're amongst the biggest deals financially. And again, if you pare it down on the per year salary, it's very, very close. It's very close.
Oh, good gracious. I'm going to go, listen, I like to move. I'm going to go with Orlando Brown. Here's why. I actually think the Bengals got better. I think Jonah Williams is playing left tackle, right?
He was.
Well, was.
In fact, he wants to be traded now.
Orlando Brown is an upgrade. It almost seems like they kind of he fell into their lap because the Kansas City Chiefs moved on. And so you can look at that 4 years, $64 million. It's something that I didn't expect them to be able to upgrade at that position. He kind of came out of nowhere. And if I look at the Draymond Jones signing, the thing that I think Draymond Jones is a little hard for me is because I don't really think he's a perfect 4-3 guy or a 3-4 or 4-3 end. So basically, he's not a nose, he's not a 3 technique, but he's really not fast enough and more of an edge rusher in a 4-3. So if you're playing a 3-4, it makes sense. I don't think he truly fits in a 4-3 scheme. And so I like to have a guy, I don't like putting a guy up there who's not going to be rushing the passer or is not going to fit in a 4-3. I like Draymond Jones in a 3-4, so I like the move, but I like the Orlando Brown move better because I think it's something that actually made the Bengals better with.
I'll be quick because I know you're going Orlando Brown, so it'll be a sweep. The one thing I'll say is what would give me pause is that Andy Reid was ready to move on. Andy Reid is from a judge of talent. Now I know some of that had to do with Brown's demands,
right?
But
they actually
spent more money on a younger guy,
right? But they actually offered him a bigger contract than this last year, and he turned it down.
Right,
he made a mistake.
Well, he did make a mistake last year, and I just in watching this whole thing, whenever Andy Reid moves on from a player, it's kind of like when Belichick moves on from a player.
Mm-hmm. The Browns just signed Juan Thornhill.
Well, I know, but I think that's a position that we've seen Andy Reid have great success in the draft. He'll just go out there. He'll pick another guy in the draft that will start next year. And you won't miss a beat because that's what he does. But I'm still going to go with Orlando Brown, even though I found it fascinating that there were a number of other teams in the league that view Brown as a right tackle now and not a left tackle. But the Bengals got tremendously better at probably one of their weakest positions. So.
Yeah, I mean,
thumbs up.
I like both guys, but the bottom line is this. They're the same age. They're getting paid basically the same money, although Draymond Jones is getting, I think, $1 million more per year.
Barely.
Draymond Jones has missed at least 3 games in 3 of his 4 years. Orlando Brown has not missed more than 1 game in any year. Brown's a 4-time Pro Bowler. Draymond Jones has never been a Pro Bowler. And you could say, well, the Pro Bowl could be overblown, but 4 times – I don't think Orlando Brown.
How many All-Pros? Any?
No All-Pros.
Okay.
So he's not super elite. He's not the best of the best.
But he's in that second tier.
Yes, and again, the Bengals went from a below average left tackle to a good left tackle.
One of the best.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We've got that figured out.
Our 5-12 matchup, a typical upset matchup here in the bracket, includes a Brown signing. Dalvin Tomlinson, 4 years, $57 million, or a first trade in the region. The Dolphins trading for Jalen Ramsey, giving up a 3rd-round pick and an unknown, or a relatively unknown tight end.
What's Ramsey's contract? What's his deal?
He's making a lot of money this
I know
year.
he is. It's going to sound like a homer pick, and I think Bull will call it that.
Yeah.
I think we've decided that Ramsey is not Jalen Ramsey. Sometimes we have to divorce ourselves from the player and their skill set.
Yeah.
When you see the name Jalen Ramsey, it drove Twitter nuts. Twitter was going crazy. Oh, the Dolphins are all in. They're not getting Jalen Ramsey of 5 years ago. They're getting a Jalen Ramsey that we watched 2 years ago and said, what he does is he gambles a lot because in the old days, his makeup speed was there. Mm-hmm. Now those gambles are turning into touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I don't think he really does a whole lot for the Dolphins.
No, I'm actually with you here. I don't think it's a homer pick. I think Dalvin Thompson is the right call. Now, I don't think Tomlinson. Excuse me, I said Thompson. I don't think he's a bargain. I don't either. I think he's fairly. I don't think he's overpaid. I think he's fairly priced.
That's why I asked what Ramsey's annual was because the Dolphins are on the hook for that. So it's they only gave up a third,
$100+ million.
So they gave up nothing, but they took a huge amount of cap on.
Right, they did. And while I don't think Tomlinson's a bargain financially, I think at this point, I think his play is still going up. I think Ramsey's going off the cliff this year.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wouldn't have given up anything for him. And while a 3rd-round pick is not huge, it's not nothing.
No.
So I'd go Tomlinson here. So that's going to win. But
well, listen, this clean sweep on this one, and I think it's actually in a landslide. I agree. When you look at Jalen Ramsey, people forget he was in with Jacksonville. When his prime, when they were really doing their thing, remember when Jacksonville went to the AFC Championship game?
Yep.
They were locking everybody up. So for me, he was in his prime there. They traded him to LA. He was still decent, but I started to notice, like you said, a couple years ago, teams were not shying away from him. The first thing is he plays physical, but if they don't let you play physical like that, and the refs are not going to let up and not give you that benefit of the doubt, you're in trouble. And then the thing that really got me was his speed. I was reading the article, and I had mentioned that, you can move people from corner to safety. And when I found out he had volunteered himself to play safety, I said, oh, corners, he knows what it is. He knows it's about time. And Tomlinson fits a need at the highest level for the Browns. You look at Jalen Ramsey, I mean, they could put him out there. They already had a couple good corners as well. I don't think this is even really that close. A third-round pick in the tight end. I'm gonna go with Tomlinson because I think he fits the bill.
Clean sweep.
We got to move into the Elite Eight.
He's moving on. A clean sweep. Our next matchup includes a Brown signing and a Brown loss. Juan Thornhill, 3 for 21, or Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback in Washington, 1 for up to 10.
G, you want to start on this one? This was tough for me.
Very tough. And I'm not saying they overpaid Jacoby, but Jacoby is getting a nice chunk of change. That's a nice $10 million.
By the way, he's already been declared the backup.
Yeah, that's a nice chunk of change.
Brissett.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they got Sam Howell.
That's crazy.
Washington has already come out and said Howell's our starter.
And so they're paying for that.
Which is surprising why they
I honestly,
look, it's one thing to say that.
Yeah.
It's you obviously have a competition or you wouldn't have brought in such a high quality backup.
I honestly don't think either should be on the list.
Of the top 16 moves?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Thornhill is a borderline move.
I think I like Thornhill, but you could argue he's a little overpaid.
I'm waiting to talk to Darren.
That's true.
Darren's going to be on.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out. Because sometimes when you deal with really good teams that got good systems and structure, sometimes those players could be a product of that system and structure.
That's true.
And really don't really bring what you saw on tape unless you got that structure. I like Thornhill. I'm a edge the Thornhill move because I just like the fact that it's $7 million per on average, and you was already paying John Johnson $12 million, so you cut some cap room and got some more space, and you didn't break the bank because we didn't even really think in house that safety was a major need.
No, which is why I am going to give the edge to Brissett. 2 reasons, and then I'll let Bull settle who wins on this move. Number one, I have to be consistent here. I think that if Washington ends up getting their starting quarterback on a $10 million ticket, as much as I loved the Baker for $4 million, I still love Jacoby at $10 million if he ends up being the starter. So again, you're taking a flyer on a guy. Clearly, even though they said Howell is their guy, they must not think that, or they wouldn't have gone with a backup quarterback that can push him like he will. The Thornhill thing, I don't know because, I blamed a lot of JJ3's problems on the system he was playing in. I still think he's a better player. I think we're going to see that next year. I think we're going to find out, just like we did with Troy Hill, when he goes back to a system that plays to his strengths and asks him to hit the pitch that he loves to hit, he's going to be a more productive player. So on that move, I have to edge out. And it's really bad for the Browns because it's the player we lost versus the player we gained.
Yeah.
But Bull, who moves on here?
I'm going to move on Thornhill because kind of like I want to be consistent with what I said with Baker. I mean, like, Jacoby Brissett did a nice job last year. I don't take that away from him. But he has a track record, and he's not that – he's, to me, a backup quarterback. At best – he's a bottom-tier starting quarterback.
Yeah.
A bottom-tier starting quarterback does not move the needle for me. Now, I think these guys are going to leave out maybe other safety deals that were better than Thornhill's, but I have to pick one, so I'll go with the Thornhill.
There were some other safety deals that, for me, moved my meter more.
Yes,
now, I don't know. Maybe they're going to be on the list down the road.
But I'll go Thornhill, so Thornhill moves on.
Okay, Thornhill moves on. So we got 2 Browns in the Elite Eight.
2 Browns in the Elite. We have 2 more first-round matchups. We're going to bring DeQuell in for our second and third round matchups of the
Okay.
queue. I see you in the queue. We'll get you in one sec. Matchup number 8 of the first round. The Vikings signing Marcus Davenport to a 1-year, $13 million prove-it deal. Or the Browns signing Ogbo Okoronkwo, 3 years, 22 and a half.
Okay. So
Yeah, give me Okoronkwo, and that would be 3 Browns.
you guys got
into the-
3, Browns. That's really
That would be, and listen, I don't know.
Cleveland market.
But listen, there might be 3 in the Elite 8 bowl, so you can.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a bad job out of you guys. You
yeah, but
left
are
out
you
some
not
good
going to put?
deals.
Who are you going to put through on that deal? I like the Okoronkwo.
I don't even understand why Marcus Davenport's on
Yeah.
there. I don't know what these guys are doing.
I thought that's one of the best deals. I actually love that deal for them. A
I
1-year
don't.
prove-it deal, 13?
I
in a pass rusher market, that's a steal.
Yeah, well, if he ends up being great, you know what? You say goodbye to him after this year. That's why I don't like that deal.
Right.
'Cause you're betting that he doesn't have success. I don't want to do that.
Right. That is essentially what you're doing.
Yes.
Like you're betting that he's going to have a great year, and then you're not going to be able to sign him.
Yes.
Because you only signed him to a 1-year deal.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the young OG move. That's easy to me. Yeah. The Browns signed him up for 3 years, $22.5 million. From what I've seen on tape, from some of his explosiveness, his moves, his pass rush ability,
And because he came on so hot in
Yeah.
the second half of the season, to me, Joe Thomas said something when he was on with us a couple of months ago about a light going off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can watch the guys sort of meander, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
boom.
I'm
And
going with
think
Ogbo.
I think that's what we've seen with him last year.
Ogbo. Ogbo it
Ogbo's
is.
moving
Clean
on.
sweep.
We have
Yeah.
2 more first-round matchups, then we're bringing to quad. Count it.
Oh, okay.
This is number 7. Jesse Bates, the biggest deal ever for a safety, 4 through 64. The Broncos signing Mike McGlinchey. They needed a right tackle, but they gave him a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't like either.
I think they
deals.
both got overpaid.
That's why I don't like either one of them.
I'll take Jesse Bates because I think Bates is better at his job than McGlinchey is at his. And McGlinchey, I don't really love either deal.
I don't either. I don't like either one of these.
I'm changing my mind. I'm going with McGlinchey. I don't like either one.
Yeah, I don't either. I would go with Bates only because it's shorter, and if it turns out to be bad, they can get out of it easier.
I'm gonna go with Bates because I think like
Bates
he's
moves
better
on.
than better than McGlinchey. And
He is.
and-
Yeah, you're right. I'm flip-flopping again.
All right,
man,
so it's a
McGlinchey
clean
ain't-
sweep with Jess.
87
Well,
million?
that might be the first topic we've ever seen you change your mind on twice.
Twice, yeah.
That's a lot of
That's a
money for a
record.
safety.
That's
though.
a
lot of
money for-
flippity-flop
It's a
right
lot
there.
of money for both of them. I don't love either deal.
I got 3 good free agent moves that are better than half the ones
well,
we've put on.
one of
there.
them might be in our last
We have,
one.
we have
What's our last
2 more
matchup?
here.
Oh, I
Our
thought we had
last,
one
ma-
more.
our last
One
matchup
more.
with 2
All
moves.
One more.
Steve, whenever you're ready. This one might hurt, Bo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good.
No, all right.
Panthers.
I
Von Bell
wanted
was-
both of those names. I'm
Yes.
like, where's Bell? Where's Hargrave?
Well,
Those-
there they are.
Those
Only
were
one could advance.
Von Bell was one of the 3. To me, it's Von Bell. I like Hargrave, but he got paid a boatload of money. I mean, I honestly think Hargrave got overpaid. To me, Von Bell is better than Juan Thornhill and only made $500,000 more per year. So
I'm going Bell too.
I'm going Bell on this.
It's
I think
up to you
Hargrave-
if you want it to sweep. The reason being, I think that Hargrave was a product of the guys that were around him.
Hargrave is very good, but he's not. I don't
He
look
is.
at him as a super elite.
But he was
I don't.
surrounded by
Yes.
really, really good
And he's
players.
really, really good, too,
He is.
but-
He helped elevate the.
But
he
he ain't
that
Aaron
pie.
Donald.
But
He-
no, he's not
no,
Aaron
I
Donald,
don't
and
know.
it's kind of close to Aaron Donald money. It's
Yes.
not.
I mean, Payne, to me, Deron Payne was way better than him.
Agreed.
And when you look at it, you're gonna pay all that money. Now, if you're the 49ers, if it was between doing that and getting a quarterback, give me the quarterback, bro. If we got to pony up and trade somebody.
You know what I think Shanahan though has convinced himself of after last year?
He can win with anybody.
I'm so good as the quarterback whisperer. I can take Mr. Irrelevant and
Yeah.
get to within a game of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That we'll be okay there. I will coach you up, whether it's Trey Lance or whoever it's going to end up being.
Yeah.
I think he now is in that space where he says, "I got this.
Yeah. Yes.
Give me a quarterback with
right.
a healthy arm."
I
We'll see.
think you guys left out 2 good ones.
What 2 do you think we left out?
Andrew Wiley, offensive
Commanders,
line
good
with
deal.
the Commanders, was a much better deal than the McGlinchey one.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you left, and I hate to give them credit, but I love Patrick Peterson with the Steelers.
Yeah, you love him more than I
couldn't believe you
do.
left that out. He was.
we listen. In full disclosure, we did want to include the Browns moves. We are a Cleveland show. See where they fit in.
I'm not even saying the Browns.
No,
I, think
I would have left off. I
some
might
of
have
the
even
big
left
ones-
off Jacoby Brissett.
I would have
because-
left off Jacoby. You could have definitely left off McGlinchey.
Fair. We want to
you
get
could
some
have
of the big
left off
ones in there.
Thornhill. I didn't think Thornhill belonged, but whatever.
But guess what?